Hey guys, welcome back to the third episode of the People's Champ podcast. Today we're going to be going over last week's matchups, what happened on the waiver wire today, and we're going to take a look at the standings, okay? So first thing I want to do is take a look at the standings. We got 3 2-0 teams. James, myself, and Greg, kickers before quarterbacks, dude. Unbelievable. Great job, guys. Great job with the 2-0 teams. Well, great job, Greg and James and myself. 2-0 teams, way to go. Let's kind of take a look and see what is making these teams 2-0. What's taking these teams to a different level. James' team, first of all, Breece Hall had a strong game. His first game, not so good. Second game, Jamar Chase went off, even though we lost Joe Burrow. Josh Allen had a very good first game. Trey McBride, probably been the tight end 1 of the season. Let's take a look. No, it says tight end 5. But Trey McBride, still a good player. Your team's looking good for the long haul there. James. Congratulations. And then Greg, let's see what you got. Greg at 2-0 with James Cook and Jonathan Taylor. Wow, what a set of running backs. Kyron Williams had a good week 1, not so good week 2. Debo's been good at the beginning of the season. Justin Jefferson's been disappointing. But yeah, your team is looking pretty strong. And then let's take a look at my team. My team is Jaden Daniels. We'll see if he plays this week. Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams has been a steal. CD's been good. Roma Dunze's been good. I just need Brock Bowers to get it going. Marvin Harrison to get it going. Hopefully he can. And we'll see what we do. But congratulations on those teams that are 2-0, and then we got a couple of teams that are 0-2. Last year's champ, Isaac, Bobby, and Cole. Let's take a look and see what's hurting you guys. Isaac with Bijan Robinson. Tyreek Hill had a good week last week. Hopefully you can get more of those performances, but Terry McLaurin's look bad. TJ Hawkinson, he might be washed. I saw that clip of the internet of him running around. Looked like me running around out there. He might be washed. Matthew Golden's hasn't been good. You got Mahomes and Herbert. Maybe you want to look at trading one of those to upgrade at a position. But yeah, 0-2, not off to a good start there. Not off to a good start. Bobby, let's take a look and see what your team's all about real quick. Trevion Henderson, Chase Brown, not looking good. Nico and George Pickens did all right last week, and so did Jalen Waddle. But, Rashee Rice suspended, man. You really need to win next week. Maybe you should look to, trading off Rashee Rice to see if you can get something to get you a win this week, okay? And then let's take a look at Cole's team real quick. Cole, what's keeping you at 0-2? Let's see, Amari and Hampton. AJ Brown. Man, I remember I said AJ Brown was a good pick in the second. They don't throw. I don't even think the Eagles had 100 yards passing last week when they built. I mean, they're winning. That's the bad part too, is they're winning, not even throwing for 100 yards. So AJ Brown, he's gotta have an explosion game here eventually. But let's see what else you got. RJ Harvey's been underproducing. Let's see, Emeka Ibuka, you got. I don't know if you started him last week. We'll look at that when we look at the matchups. But, Cole, that's what's keeping you at 0-2. So let's go ahead and take a look at the matchups from last week. Let's look. The first matchup I want to look at is Barrett and Bobby. Okay, Barrett and Bobby, let's see. The end of the final score of Barrett and Bobby's matchup was 134-115, and Barrett went and took the W. He had a good outing from Bo Nix. He had a good outing from Devon Achane. Devon Achane's looking like a top 3 RB in the league. Genty, I think I saw him on your bench this week. Genty's been underperforming. Keenan Allen looked pretty good last week. Chuba Hubbard's looked pretty good. Chuba Hubbard looked good with 19 points. But yeah, Barrett, you're looking like a pretty good team if you could just figure out what to do with your RB2 spot. Oh, you got Travis Etienne on your bench. That's not bad. Maybe you need to I think that's who you're starting over Genti this week in our matchup. But good luck to you. You know, my team's a wagon. Javante Williams. And Bobby, let's see what happened. Man, Trevion Henderson and Chase Brown. Being 0-2, Bobby, I don't know if you can afford to wait on those players to come back around because, I mean, I like Trevion Henderson like anybody else, but it seems like those rookie running backs take a little while to get started. And with Rashee Rice being on your bench because of the suspension, you really can't afford to wait around. I mean, I guess you got Waddle, Pickens, and Nico. You can wait a little bit longer, but yeah, that's that matchup right there. Bobby at 0-2, Barrett at 1-1. Barrett, you're looking like a good team over here. Keenan Allen, I like that trade. I mean, I don't like that trade, but it worked out for you last week. So let's take a look at another matchup here. Kickers before quarterbacks. And Dwayne, let's take a look at that matchup, Dwayne. So the final tally ended up being, give me a second. Load. What's the same 0-0? I know Greg got the win because he's 0-2. Why am I 0? I'm having little technical difficulties here. It's saying all the scores are 0-0. Oh, I'm looking at week 3. Okay, let's see. Oh, my bad, guys. Jason before kickers before quarterbacks. Jason and Greg showdown. Let's see what that was about. Looks like the final tally ended up being 137-122. Greg took it to go to 2-2. Jason with the loss to go to 1-1. Let's see what hurt. The hurts are Jalen Hurts with only 14 points. That was hard. Josh Jacobs pretty good. Game at 6. Aaron Jones he got hurt. That's going to be rough. Let's see. Do you got anybody on your bench to replace him? Yeah, you can throw J.K. Dobbins in there as your running back too to get you by for a little bit. Puka with a big game. T. Higgins had a good game. But yeah, you're gonna have to do something at tight end with Dalton Kincaid and Evan Ingram. Jacoby Myers not looking too bad in the flex. You got Calvin Ridley. Wait for Calvin Ridley to show up eventually. I wonder if it'll ever come. But yeah, you couldn't overcome Greg, even though Greg's taking this whole kickers over quarterback thing out of this world because he starts Justin Fields this week with 4 points and still gets the win because it has Brandon Aubrey with 22 points. And also he is at James Cook with 28 points. Kyron with 11. Jonathan Taylor with 32. Having Jonathan Taylor and James Cook, those two running backs, you might be in for something there, Greg. But good job getting the win, Greg. Way to go 2-0. Like the rest of us, great fantasy football players. But way to go. Let's go to the next game, next matchup. Next matchup I want to talk about is going to be me and Seth's matchup from last week. Well, Seth, I know you started off strong. With Jackson Smith and Jigba. Oh, and actually, Jackson Smith and Jigba, he had 18 points. He did good. But Derrick Henry only scoring 3.4 fantasy points. I know last week I said, dude, Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey, wow. But who expected Derrick Henry to get only 3.4 points against Cleveland? That was a real but Christian McCaffrey had a good game. 24 points. Daniel Jones, I think he's the quarterback 2 of the season right now. Daniel Jones. The Indiana Jones, what they've been calling him right now. So yeah, keep starting him. Who was your quarterback? Brock Purdy. Yeah, Brock. Yeah, you got Daniel Jones. Hopefully he's next year. He's this year's Sam Darnold rather than this year's Derek Carr, because last year after 2 games everybody was saying Derek Carr was the man, and that did not end up to be true. But Sam Darnold was a great was a good fantasy football option the whole season. Devontae Adams had his breakout. Jackson Smith-Njigba had a good game. Disappointing game from Sam Laporta and Michael Pittman, but you just went up against a juggernaut. Me with my Javonte Williams, my CeeDee Lamb, Rome Odunze breakout with 31 points, 2 touchdowns. I think it was, 100? Let me look right now. It was... what did he have? Pass. It was like 127 yards, I think he had against Detroit. 128 yards and 2 touchdowns against Detroit. Rome Odunze had. I love a second-year wide receiver. Hopefully, he's going to explode and break out. Brock Bowers, disappointing game. Marvin Harrison Jr., disappointing game. I knew I was going to go through this when I drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. I knew I was going to go through the ups and downs, but I still believe in Marvin Harrison Jr. I believe in the talent. I think he's going to have more ups. I don't know if I believe in Kyler, but eventually the squeaky wheel is going to get greased. And I know they talk about on the broadcast that he doesn't really complain, but all wide receivers complain, and eventually he's going to get the ball. So Jaden Daniels being hurt this week. We'll talk about the pickups in the waiver wire section, but second most points in the week. Second most points this week with 147. So let's give it up to me for an outstanding performance last week to beating Seth. Sorry, Seth. And Barrett, you're in for a long one next week, okay? Don't expect to be 2-1 next week, okay? Because the People's Champ is coming, and he's coming hard. Pause. Next matchup, let's talk about Mitch and James. James with the big win to go to 2-0. 132 to 130. Wow, I didn't realize such a narrow margin of victory. I guess that's why Mitch was bitching about kickers the other morning. Let's see, kickers. He had 8 points. He's projected to go for 8.4 points. So, I mean, you got 8 points from your kicker. So, it is what it is. You got 33 points from Lamar. Saquon with an alright game, 19 points. David Montgomery had a good game. DK Metcalf, I was a big believer in DK Metcalf too going into the season, but he has been underperforming these first 2 weeks. But like I said, it's only 2 weeks, and he's kind of like A.J. Brown, where he can just go off any week and make up his projection. Go over way over his projections. Tyler Warren's been a real good tight end. I know I ragged on you because it was like a podcast pick, but it looks like he's getting utilized in that offense a lot. And what's his name? Steichen, the coach in Indianapolis, is doing wonders with Daniel Jones. Hopefully he can keep it up. Drake London's been a little bit of a disappointment, but also he was hurt last week, so he could have just been out there to be a decoy. So team's looking good. I wish I would have picked Lamar Jackson, now hindsight's 2020, over Jaden Daniels in the draft. And let's see what you went down to. You went down to James. James, not a good performance from Josh Allen. Not a good performance from Breece Hall. Okay performance from James Conner. But 36 points from Jamar Chase. And 18 points from Jaylen Warren. 13 points from Trey McBride. That's where you got it. Jamar Chase really carried you that win. That we all knew that was going to happen when you take Jamar Chase first overall. So that was, but we'll see what it's like without Joe Burrow. Even though Jake Browning has been doing pretty good. Jake Browning did good 2 years ago in replace of him. He did good for Jamar Chase for a couple games. It's not going to be like what it is with Joe Burrow, but having Jamar Chase. Hopefully Jamar Chase can carry you. Hopefully not carry you too much, because I would like to be the only undefeated team. But let's go on to the next matchup. Let's see what we got here. Pat. Oh God, Pat. Patrick and Isaac. All right, Pat. Let me tell you. All right. 15 minutes long. Jesus. Let me hurry it up. Pat. Zach Ertz. Okay, he scored 2 touchdowns. Okay, good. He's not a terrible draft pick. Okay, it's still a bad pick. You got carried by the week by having, Bucky Irvin had a good game. Kamara had a good game. I know I said that was going to be a bad pick. Oh, Amon Ra went off, yeah. So, yeah, good job. Your bench looking good. Cooper Kupp had a good game. Nick Chubb. Pat, your team might not be bad. Did I say you were going to be the second worst team? Hey, what do I know? I didn't like my team either, but I'm 2-0, so what do you got? And Isaac 109. Is that no? Cole has the lowest points of the week. But yeah, like I said, Bijan had a good game. Patrick Mahomes had a good game. DeAndre Swift, Tyreek Hill had good games. Terry McLaurin, T.J. Hawkinson, been real disappointing. T.J. Hawkinson, you might. God, I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know what you're gonna do with that, but you can't start. Yeah, and you don't even have another tight end.
What are you doing, step bro?
T.J. Hawkinson, you gotta bench him. I'm not saying you gotta drop him, but you gotta bench him because he is doing nothing and he looks washed. Shit. Last matchup we're going to talk about is Cole. Cole with the lowest points on the week with 89 points to the most points on the week to Dwayne with 150. Dwayne, let's see how you got that 150. Baker had a good game. Kenneth Walker had a good game. Oh, Malik Neighbors, that's what it was. Juwan Johnson, picking him up off the waiver wire, throwing him in there. Yep, Patriots D with 14 points. Yep, real dominant performance. And let's see what Cole, what put you in there. Kyler, Jahmyr Gibbs had a good game. Amari and Hampton. Yeah, being 0-2, you got to do something with Amari and maybe trade him to somebody that can wait for him. A.J. Brown, yeah, Cortland Sutton. Loveland had 0 points.
What are you doing, step bro?
Wow, and Mekabuka, I mean, he didn't have the greatest game, but yeah. Oh, terrible week from Cole. And then let's go ahead and talk about the waiver wires real quick. I don't want to make this video too long. Let's talk about Cole with the $6 bid for Blake Corum. Yeah, you need to do something at running back because Amari and Hampton needs to go on your bench ASAP. And the next one is Jason with the $16 bid for Kareem Hunt. Let's take a look real quick at Jason's team. Where's time to put a top to it? Jason's team. Let's see, $16 for a running back. I mean, it's always good to spend money on a running back. But you got Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm never gonna say it's overspending for a running back, especially when Isaiah Pacheco's been as bad as he's been. But yeah, and then $4 a bid by me for Troy Franklin. I outbidded everybody because no one else bid on Troy Franklin. And Pat with the $9 bid for Wan'Dale Robinson. So that was the main waiver wire transactions of the week. And we didn't have any trades, so there's no trades to talk about. Before I let you go, I want you guys remember I got $10 from Cole. We're gonna do a 12-leg parlay this weekend. I'm in Mississippi this weekend. We're gonna do a 12-leg parlay this weekend. Let's keep it to NFL games because I'm gonna be out of town this weekend. It's not gonna let me use my DraftKings app out of state. And then Thursday's game is tomorrow, so we don't want to have one leg and ruin the whole parlay. So we're going to do Sunday games, NFL games, your player props, your over-unders, your spreads, your money lines. Just pick something. I guarantee you have a better chance of winning just picking something than actually like really studying about it. I kind of have an idea of what I want my play to be. So guys, get a play together. Let's get a 12-leg parlay together and let's win some money. All right, guys, I'm out. Good luck week 3, except for you, Barrett. I'm gonna be 0-3.